Good morning, Nachum. Good Shabbos, everybody. Tomorrow we have the privilege of reading Parshas Ki Seitzei. Whoa! Parshas Ki Seitzei is known for having the most mitzvos of any singular parsha in the Torah. According to the Chinuch, there are 27 positives and 47 restrictions, for a total of 74 mitzvos. Some of the more familiar mitzvos are that of marriage and divorce, as well as the closing paragraph in Parshas Ki Seitzei, Zechiras Amalek, the biblical commandment to remember to destroy evil Amalek in this world. I'd like to share with you an exciting idea that Rashi tells us in the second Aliyah. Now, the Gemara in Yevamos teaches that, especially in the book of Devarim, we are darshinon smuchin, which means that we have the right to explain why one mitzvah is written next to another and the lessons that we might learn therefrom. So, in the second Aliyah, we find the following. First comes the mitzvah of Shiluach Hakan. Shiluach Hakan is to send away the mother bird, not to take the mother and the chicks or eggs together. And then, if you fulfill this mitzvah, which says that it will be good for you and you'll be blessed with longevity, the next halacha is that you will build a new home and you are to make a marker, a fence around your home. Was one mitzvah, goreres, another mitzvah, and you will then come to the kerem, to a vineyard. And when it comes to the vineyard, you will not plant the vine and other grains together. Next comes sadeh, a field, and you will not plow with an ox and a donkey together. And you will have the next one, bigadim no'im. You'll have nice clothing with the prohibition of shatnez, not wearing wool and linen together. Therefore, says Rashi, nismechu parshios halolu. The Be'er Yosef, in his commentary, points out something very fascinating. You fulfilled the mitzvah of Shiluach Hakan. You sent the mother bird away. So the Torah says, by doing that, you're going to build a new home. One would think that the reward for sending the mother bird away is that now you're able to build a nice new home. And the answer, he says, no, is as a result of sending the mother bird away, of fulfilling one mitzvah, you will have the opportunity to fulfill another mitzvah, which is to make a fence around the law. And if you fulfill that mitzvah, you will have the opportunity to plant a vineyard, where the mitzvah is not the planting, but it's that you're not seeding, planting the vine with other grain. And Sadeh, a field, you need to plow the field. You're not going to plow with a ox and a donkey. And then you're going to have nice clothing, which is the mitzvah of shatnez, not to wear wool and linen together. So Rashi explains that's why these 5 commandments were written one next to another to teach us mitzvah goreres mitzvah, that one mitzvah causes another mitzvah. I'd like to expand a little bit on that concept of mitzvah goreres mitzvah, so we can understand you've performed one mitzvah, Hashem will give you an opportunity to perform another mitzvah. However, I'd like to tell you that there's much more to this concept, and that is as follows. The Gemara in Kiddushin 40b teaches us, Asa mitzvah achas. When a person fulfills a mitzvah, it's not only ashrav, it's not only that it's good for him, but rather shehechriya es atzmo b'eskol olam l'kaf zchus, that not only has he gained personally, perfecting himself, but he has also elevated the world about him, enabling the world to accrue more blessing from God. Whoa. And conversely, ouch, if a person violates a negative command, so not only has he committed a liability towards himself, his soul, but also the entire world towards the side of liability. And this is found in the Rambam as well. The idea of the potential of each mitzvah. And that's based on the Mishnah in Avos, where Ben Azai says, mitzvah goreres mitzvah, ve'avera goreres avera. Now, I'd like to direct you to Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner in his Sefer Nefesh HaChaim in the first Sha'ar, chapters 3 and 4. And his thesis is very strong. He tells you the famous Mishnah in Avos, Perek Beis, Mishnah Aleph, whereby the Mishnah says, Da, literally, know, be cognizant, mala mala, what is above mimcha, what's above you. Me know what that means, that Hashem directs the world. But he explains this a bit differently. Da, know, mala mala, what is going on and how Hashem directs the world. Mimcha stems from you, meaning Hashem tzilcha. Hashem is our shadow. If we act in good, positive ways, if we show v'yohavta l'reacha kamocha, we truly love all Jews, then guess what? Hashem is going to bestow more love on us. And if chas v'shalom, there is katata, there's strife, and there's sinah, I can't even say the H word, but if there is the opposite of ahava, the opposite of love, within the Jewish community, Hashem as well turns his back on us. So this is a very powerful idea. I'm going to substantiate this idea with the Gemara in Sanhedrin 96b, where the Gemara tells us that the one who destroyed the first Beis HaMikdash was Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was sent by Nebuchadnezzar, and he was exceedingly arrogant. And when he came and destroyed the first Beis HaMikdash, he couldn't stop patting himself on the back. And listen to what the Gemara says. Novka Basko, a heavenly voice emanated the Omrale and said to Nebuchadnezzar, Amo Ketila Kotalt, you destroyed a slain nation, meaning Hashem had already decreed that the Jewish people were to be defeated because they went against what the Beis HaMikdash stood for. Hichola Kalio Kalis, a burned sanctuary that you burned. In other words, it wasn't you, it was Hashem who took this initiative, and you were just the messenger that Hashem sent to implement it. And finally, Kimcha Techinas, a ground flour that you ground. Unbelievable. What we do down here has not only an effect upon us, but what we do down here has nothing less than a global effect. Unbelievable. Now, this is something that we would not be able to understand on our own. That is why we need to take the hand of Rav Chaim Volozhin, who was the primary disciple of the Vilna Gaon, and understand that all of Jewish history is connected. We are living in very special times. We see it with the many, many miracles that are happening in Eretz Yisrael, that are happening in the world around us. Understand that it's not simply that Hashem is putting on a show and showing us what He can do, but we honestly believe that the more we are dedicated to His Torah and His mitzvos, to the love of Hashem and to the love of Klal Yisrael, the greater the ahava of Hashem will continue to be for Klal Yisrael. Therefore, especially now in Chodesh Elul, the table talk should be mitzvah goreres mitzvah. Shabbat shalom to all.